My name is Ansley. I'm 15 years old. I'm a freshman in high school, and I have decided to share my testimony. So this month is May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I have struggled a lot with mental health. So I have decided to share my testimony, my walk with God, because I really do feel like this could help other people all throughout the world. I was born and raised in a Christian family, and I have had people since before my mom was pregnant with me pray over me, because my mom did deal with infertility, and I just really like how I grew up. I appreciate how I grew up, because I really feel like that is what shaped me into who I am today. I gave my life to the Lord when I was in first grade. Spring 2017 was when I got baptized. That was definitely my favorite day of my life. So second grade, I got diagnosed with ADHD. And then third grade was when I really feel like I started struggling with anxiety, depression, mental health. But it wasn't a lot, it was just a little bit. But third grade was when COVID happened, and then my dad, he was dealing with some high blood pressure due to a medication he has to take for him being a liver transplant patient. So he was also very sick. He was throwing up a lot and having a lot of headaches, and he was going to the doctor a lot. In fourth grade, I had to do homeschool. I mean, I did struggle with it, struggle that I couldn't go to actual school when all my friends could, but I did have this one great friend. Her name is Audrey. She has been doing homeschool for all of her life, so I was very happy, and I was very glad that I got to know her while I was doing homeschool, because she did help me a lot through homeschool, because I'm not used to that. In fifth grade was when I went back to school. I really enjoyed going back to school and seeing all my friends, but I did notice how that is when everybody kind of separated into their own little small group. But thank goodness all of my friends that I had before COVID still loved me very much, and they still took me in, you know. So they just helped me get back into the groove of school. Sixth grade, I decided to start taking medication for my ADHD. And I did kind of struggle with medication. It caused me to have a panic attack one day, and that was not fun, because that was my first panic attack. In the summer of sixth grade, I started working at a camp called Camp Blessing. And so it's like a volunteer camp. You volunteer at it. It's a camp for kids and adults with disabilities, and it was definitely really fun. It was a Christian camp, and like I really feel like my life has been changed with going there, because you really get to see a new view of life, and like you don't have your phone during that week. And like you get a whole new view of life, and that really, each time I go to a camp, it really helps me connect with the Lord. Seventh grade, I really spent seventh grade just numb. I started anxiety medication that year, and I honestly just, I don't even know. It was just a tough year for me. I barely ate, and I just felt numb. I didn't really talk much. And it was hard, you know, because that was my first year of middle school, you know. And I just wish I could have enjoyed it more. So on Valentine's Day of seventh grade, I lost my uncle. That was very, very, very hard for me when losing my uncle. But I do feel like I am glad to have known him for the time I known him, and at the same time, I didn't know him very well, so at least it wasn't somebody I was very, very close to. So 8th grade, I really enjoyed 8th grade. I was actually a part of 8th grade, and I was actually talkative, and like I really feel like people could see how I had my personality back, mainly my really, really, really good friends. So I do want to go back to 7th grade. 7th grade, I did start struggling with self-harm, and it's not something I want anybody to struggle with. Like, that is something hard. It really ate me up, because I really started to struggle with mental health then also. 8th grade, the summer of 8th grade, at the beginning of 8th grade, of the summer of 8th grade, this was summer 2025, I decided to stop taking my ADHD meds and anxiety meds because they made me sick. And also, I learned that my great-grandma went to hospice, and I did not like that. I did not like that soon she was not going to be here with us. But I just decided that I was going to make the best of this summer. One day, my dad, he went to go see my great-grandma in hospice, and he came home and he had brought back a ton of old photos. With all those old photos, there's one thing that was wrapped in newspaper, and I asked him if he can open it, and he said, sure. So I opened it, and it was one of the angels she collected. And I remember when I opened that, I literally heard the Holy Spirit say, "This is yours to keep from Mama." And Mama is what I call my great-grandma. But that's what I heard, and it's like, I've never heard the Holy Spirit talk to me before like that. Like, that was crazy. And like, like, that is a miracle. Like, it's crazy, I did try to soak up all that I could that summer, with like volunteering at camps. I volunteer at a camp like basically all summer, like I live right next to it, called Camp Milliken, and it was my last year able to be a camper there, because I was a camper in the oldest group, and then also I volunteered for the 2 younger groups. So it was my last year being a camper there, and it was my last year in middle school, and I was about to go into high school, so I was just trying to soak up all the last minutes of like childhood. At the end of summer, I lost my great-grandma. I really struggled with that. That really took up a ton of my mental health. And yeah, at her funeral, the toughest part of her funeral is definitely when she got buried, because like nobody wants to see their loved ones being buried, but I spoke at her funeral. I talked about what I just shared about the angel, but it was just hard like that, because I was very, very, very close with my great-grandma. I also started to have shutdowns. My body would literally just fully shut down. And at first we just thought I was dehydrated, but we went to urgent care, and they're like, "Nope, you're hydrated, nothing that's going on with you is pointing signs to dehydration." So the beginning of 9th grade, the first week or so was good, but then after around the first week, I started to have those shutdowns almost every single day, sometimes twice a day, and it was getting really, 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 really bad. And then that's also when I started struggling with suicidal thoughts and self-harm. So one day before, about 2 weeks before my 15th birthday, I felt like I wanted to end my life. And I was also taking Adderall at this time. I still am, but I had my Adderall in my hand, like a ton of Adderall in my hand, and I was literally arguing with myself if I should take it or not. Then I was like, okay, I need to call somebody, like I can't continue to do this. So then I called about like 5-6 people, and the last person I called was one of my best friends. Her name is Hallie, and she answered. And her parents, and she was able to go tell her parents, and her parents were able to call my parents, and my parents were able to come help me. And I'm just super glad that she answered, because honestly, if she didn't answer, I don't know if I would still be here. I still struggled with those shutdowns. We didn't know if they were physical or mental. But then one of them I had to go to the ER for. And the ER doctor explained to us how sometimes if a person is struggling a lot with anxiety, depression, and they're just overwhelmed with anxiety and depression, they can actually start having non-epileptic seizures. I never got tested for them because I did stop having the shutdowns, but I'm pretty sure that was what I was having. A little after that, I started to go to intensive therapy, and I really started doing the hard work of getting my mental health back to life. Like I was going to that intensive therapy, I was trying to get in really good physical exercise, and I was actually like focusing on my well-being physically, mentally, I was really trying to focus on myself and how I was doing. Then my life started to come back together after my intensive therapy. I am going to therapy about once a month because I'm just like really busy. And I've been going to Arkansas to go see my aunt, and I also have a brand new best friend there. Her name is Ellie, and I just finished 9th grade, in which I started 9th grade in homeschool like a little before spring break. And I am like so glad that I finished, and I honestly just feel like God has helped me so much. I honestly feel like the main topic of my testimony is that like God, He is able to get you out of the trenches. He is able to get you out of rock bottom, but you just have to tell Him like, hey, I know you're there, and I trust you, and I believe in you. And you just have to continue to say that, and I know that He is going to help you, because He has helped me millions of times. There are 2 verses that I really love, Philippians 4:6 and Philippians 4:13, and I have those verses in bracelets. And like when I'm struggling a lot, I'll just look down at my wrist, and I'll just like say that verse out loud, or say that verse in my head. And like I swear each time I say it miraculously helps me. And like that is a miracle from God, that just one little verse can help you so much in life. That was my testimony, and I just really feel like my main message is just like God will get you out of the trenches. And if you are struggling, just reach out to Him, and also reach out to your loved ones, to your friends and family, because you will be able to get through this. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month.